We are in week 5 now. We will introduce module 5. That will be finish the second half from chapter 4. More about making decision. We will learn conditional operators and the switch statement in this week. We are in week 5. That means we already finished 4 weeks from the 16 weeks term. So congratulations everyone. You are 1 quarter complete the semester. So let's see what we'll talk about in this week. In this week, before we talk about conditional operator and the switch statement, we will continue to give you more example about the logical operator. From last week, we talked about if and if-else statement. So if and else-if statement, we can have the nested if-else-if statement. So that will check more than one condition. But sometimes we also can using the logical operator to connect our logical expression. For example, last week, at the end, we introduced and end. So that's ampersand mean end. So then we talk about or operator, and also we talk about not operator. So you can see here, no matter we're using the and operator or the or operator, we are connect two Boolean expression together. So if you remember, for the and operator, only both expression is true, the result will be true. Otherwise, the result will be false. For the or operator, you have two Boolean expression. As long as one is true, so then we have the result is true. So let's talk about more about the example here. So we just say, for example, for the following in x, y, z, we have the value x is 12, y is 5, z is -4. So we do the AND operator. So when we see the AND operator, we will start from the expression on the left. So you see x greater than y, true or false? So 12 is greater than 5, so that's true. So when we do the AND operator, only the first expression is true. Then we will continue to do the second one. So then the second one, y greater than z. Since y is 5 greater than -4, so we know the second expression also is true. So only true and true, the result is true. So continue, we see more. So this example, let me change the condition. So I change the question is x equal to y. So we do the AND operator. So the AND operator, like I say, the first thing we will check the expression on the left. So we see here x equal to y. So the value for x is 12. 12 equal to 5. That will be false. So this example I want to show you. When you do the AND operator, if the first expression on the left is false already, so then actually they won't continue to check the second one. Because remember, AND operator, only both expressions are true, the result will be true. So on the other hand, once you have the first expression already being false, so then they will skip the second one, just return the false. So that's we didn't talk about from last week. So continue, we see here the same thing from the first expression. Because your first condition is true, then we have to check on AND. So to see if the second one is true, then we can decide the result. However, we see the next one is the OR. So the OR operation, only one of them is true. So that's true, right? So we see this one. So you see here, we say x less than equal to z. So x is 12, less than equal to -4. So this one is false. But here, because we do the OR, so remember OR is just one of the expression is true, then we return true. So that's why here, when you have the first one, they are false. So it's not like AND, we will just skip. If the first one is false, I still have possibility is true, right? So that's why here we need to, even the first one is false, for the OR operator, I will continue to check the second one. So then you will see y equal to z. So this one also is false because 5 not equal to -4. So only both are false, so we return false. So that's what we will have. So the same thing, this one actually, let me change the next one. So the next one, the same thing is OR operator. So now what I want to show you is, we see the first one. So we check the first one, right? So you see here, x greater equal to z. Right, so 12 is greater equal to -4. So this one is true, right? So actually, if for the OR operator, if the first condition already true, then here we will skip the second one. Because remember, for the OR operator, as long as one of the conditions is true, the result will be true. So that's why here, once they are true here, so we just return true. So we don't need to check the second condition. So that's what we want to add more information about the AND and the OR operator. We know for the AND, only both is true, so then we return true. So on the other hand, if your first one is false, actually they don't need to check the second one, they just return false. But for the OR operator, either expression is true, we will return true. So that's why even your first one, they are false, I still need to continue to check the second one, because the second one have the possibility to be either true or false. So for this situation, the second one also is false, so we return false. But here, for the OR operator, if the first one already being true, so we just return true. So that's the AND and the OR, more example. So then the same thing, let's see here for the NOT. Okay, so NOT, you need to be careful. NOT actually have a higher priority. But here, because we put the parentheses first, so that's why we need to check this one first. So x greater equal to z, this one, 12 greater equal to -4. So that's true, good. So you see, not, you need to reverse what you have in the parentheses. So not true become false. So that's not. And here you need to be careful when we do the not. But here not actually is y. So that's why here we need to do the not y first. So y actually is 5. So what not 5 mean? So remember before we told you, if we try to see only a number is true or false. So this number, if this number is 0, that's false. But if this number is not 0, anything else we consider that's true. So that's why here, not y actually mean, y is 5, so that's true. But not y, so true become false. So actually this one false, this one become false. So then after this one become false, right? So then we want to check x greater than false. So be careful. So when you have the false, you want to do the comparison. So this false actually will change, become the digital value. So false digital value is 0. Good. So x 12 greater than 0. So that's true. So that's more example we show you about the logical operator. So last week we give you a co-example about AND operator. So this week continue, we have an example in example 8. So example 8, we will show you how to use the logical operator to work with the variables. So then here we will say, if a customer is employee over specific year, or their annual salary over minimum interest, so this customer will qualify for a special interest rate. So this one is when we have the loan application, we need to check the customer's working history and annual salary. So we have the minimum employment years to require. Then we also have the minimum income requirement. So that's why here we have the constant number, that's our requirement. So if the customer work at least 5 years, or the minimum income is 35,000, so we will give them qualify for a special interest rate. But here, be careful, that's or. So this example is, we say either the customer will check their employment history and minimum income. So if they match either or situation, then they will qualify a special interest rate. So that's why here we will see the example. That's example 8. We will see how to demonstrate the logical OR operator. So the same thing here, we have our constant number for our minimum income requirement and the minimum working experience. So that's 35,005. So then we will ask the user what is their income and how many years their employment. So you see here, we see out what is your annual income, what is your current job, how many years you work on. So then after that, we will see how we will decide the customer can have the special interest rate or not. So before you can move forward, maybe you should pause the video so then you will see how should we do that. Right, so definitely we need to have an if statement, right? So this if statement, actually we were using the or to connect them together. So that's why as long as the income greater or equal to the minimum income, or the years greater or equal to the minimum years, so then we will say they qualify for special interest. Right, so that's why here you will see the if statement. So if statement, because we have the loan qualification is or. So you see here, this or we will combine two expressions. So the first condition is if the income greater or equal to the minimum income, or the working years greater than, or here it should be equal, or if we decide they are the same, equal minimum years. So then you qualify. So you see, if they both are false, so that means either or is qualified, right? So that's why if they don't qualify, that means they don't match the minimum income. They don't have enough working years. So that's why here we will see out. Or you must earn at least the minimum income or being employed more than 5 years. So that will display why the user being rejected. So of course, the same thing, make sure you will run your program on your IDE. So here is we run on as code on the Cloud9, for example 8. So that's why here you can play with that. You can have your minimum income changed or the minimum years changed. So that's why I see here we make that constant number because that's a requirement from the bank. And also here, right, so that means correct this one, we should be equal. So the income greater or equal to the minimum income, or the working years greater or equal to the minimum years. So then they are qualified. So then you can run the program to check the result. Okay, so we will qualify for that. So make sure you will download the example and run from your IDE.